UTSA finds a win in the San Diego Shootout. It takes until game 3 for it to happen, but they get a victory over Incarnate Ward. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Slasher U. I'm your host, Christian Rao, here with my co-host, Steve Feck, and we get to talk a little UTSA basketball. Nothing wrong with that. Birds up, if you will. Let's check this one out here. 68-62 final here. It was all help to Germany's 15 points to help UTSA beat Incarnate Ward on this one. I really liked this game here. I thought this one was a really fun one. I'll tell you what, after a rough weekend, we had the cardiac runners in football. You had the basketball team having a hard time getting through. They had a tough overtime loss in the second game of the shootout. They finally get a victory there. They don't leave empty-handed, but man, was it a tough weekend. At least a good way to end it off, and they have a winning record going 5-3, ending the month of November, Steve.
Yeah, and you mentioned Jacob Germany. We talked about him the last time we did the recap. That's exactly what the coaching staff needs. They need that consistent inside presence. So he did put up 15 points. I believe he was a double-double. I believe he also had, I think it was a double-double.
11 rebounds, yep.
Yeah, so basically, if they're getting – and again, they're going to be playing New Mexico coming up in Utah. That's going to be a huge challenge for them. But if they're getting that inside play and, being able to control to a certain degree, the rim, and the boards, that's going to help free up, their guard play to a great deal. I mean, Bugs the third shot 4 for 6 from 3-point land. He had 18 points. Medor was not as efficient as he has been so far. But again, I mean, he got the ball where he needed to get the ball. People are going to have off shooting nights. But again, I mean, that's what you have to have. They're going to have to kick out the ball to the perimeter a lot, or at least, try to open up defenses a little bit. And if Germany can come through, I think that's really good for the Roadrunners. I think a lot of Roadrunner fans, are starting to warm up to it. I think they can see, even in the losses, there is a plan. And the team is shooting better than they have the last 2 seasons. And that's the key. You can't shoot 33% and win a lot of basketball games. They're up above 40, 41, 42% most games. I think that's really, really good. The player that I found really fascinating in this one did play for UIW, and he was Devontae Dennis. Blue Ribbon Basketball had a lot of nice things to say with him. He's a redshirt freshman. He led all scorers, in the game. And it looks like that rebounding prowess is going to give UIW an extra edge there. Now, it is the Southland Conference, so players like this are going to get overlooked unless they have monster nights. His big issue has been foul trouble. When he's out on the floor and not coming in after 15, 20 minutes because he's in foul trouble, he's putting up some nice numbers. So that was really kind of an interesting thing to look at there. But again, for me, UTSA, I wanted to see how they were going to come out of, out of the Classic, how they would set themselves up for these games against New Mexico and Utah. If they can upset one of those two, that would be truly, a terrific achievement and a nice little exclamation point in the pre-conference schedule. But I think they just need to be competitive. And I think if they can get that inside-out balance, I think the Roadrunners can hang in at least for a while against New Mexico for sure. Utah might be a little bit of a taller task there, but so we might be rooting. We're going to be following UTSA all the way through to the summer, I guess. I mean, they've got a pitcher that's probably going to get drafted, in the middle rounds of the MLB draft. So we might need to move to San Antonio. I mean, I know that you're supposed to be shifting to the Pacific Northwest, but you might need to stop in San Antonio for a couple of weeks and do some on-site reporting.
Yeah, I mean, that does seem like the case. I was actually just speaking to some of our friends at UTSA on socials, and I made sure to let him know that I'm definitely trying to get down there for at least a football game next year. Maybe we'll have to do a live show down there during one of them. I think that's something that's going to happen on the books. You speak about baseball. I'm sure UTSA softball, they got a softball team, right? So they probably have a fantastic one down there too. Looking forward to covering this school all year round. You talked about shooting of UTSA. That has to be improved from last year. It is. It's definitely been an improvement. That's why we're seeing a winning record so far this season, even in some of their losses, especially the one that Dartmouth, losing in overtime by just a point. They still looked pretty good. Shooting 42% from the field. That does come a lot from guys like Germany, who is
Mhm.
shooting almost 52% from the field. And that is huge. And especially when he's not really doing anything. He's doing absolutely nothing from the 3-point line, but he is doing everything throughout the rest of the court there. So gotta love that from Germany and the leaders, the guys that are really taking charge of the Roadrunners basketball team here. I look at this team in the month of November. They had some ups, they had some downs, but remember what the majority of us felt about this team going into
Yeah.
this season. We didn't have too high of expectations, right? So I would say that they were probably already exceeding. Now, when you go into these games, they have a nice break, by the way. We don't get to see them again till December 10th. That's that New Mexico game. As of this recording right now, Tuesday night, New Mexico is undefeated. They're 6-0.
Mhm.
UTSA sitting at 5-3. They don't play again until December 10th. They have a nice break, make some adjustments to go into this New Mexico and Utah series here, which is going to be two tough games, just like you said. Then they take on Bethune, and then guess what? Right into Conference USA schedules for the last time for the basketball team, and they start off with, I don't even know if I should say the name right now because I know it's kind of sketchy if that's, you shouldn't say it, but they play North Texas at the beginning of their conference schedule. So that is a hell of a way to start off your Conference USA schedule for the last time. If you can find a way to smack them up, that'd be pretty nice. I know that leave a nice taste in the majority of Roadrunners' mouths there on that one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the month of December really looks like for them. They got 6 games, 3 non-conference and 3 conference. We're really going to get a good idea of what we're in for with this UTSA squad for the rest of the year. It's this team that can, like you said, have a potential to maybe squeak into an NIT bid, to maybe make a run in the Conference USA tournament. I think it's highly possible. Now, remember where we were last year. We were at the bottom of the basement, right? So anything other than sitting at the complete bottom and actually making some competition is great. You want to keep building this program. This is a young school. We know what that's all about, right? So looking forward to seeing what happens there. I think they can get that job done against Utah. See, you think the other way around. I am a little higher on New Mexico. New Mexico is a really tough squad. I think that they have a better shot at Utah. So I guess we're apples to oranges on that one. We'll see what happens when these games come up. Looks like we're not going to have some UTSA basketball coverage for a little bit as we wait for December 10th basketball game, Steve. But a lot of good things from this team so far.
Yeah, and I've stressed this every time we've talked about the basketball team. As I watch what limited video that I can get of this team, and it's usually on replay clips. I haven't actually had a game even available on ESPN Plus. The women's team, which also is an excellent side, by the way. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, don't ignore the women's basketball team." So I think we need to work them in a little bit as well. But you can see, in Henson, you can see that he was the protege of Lon Kruger. You can see a lot of Lon Kruger's roster management and bench management techniques, there at UTSA. And if you're going to have a mentor, that's one of the better ones to have, especially when you're trying to build a program and build a culture. So stay tuned, Roadrunner fans. I can't promise you we're going to cover every game, but I mean, we're going to be talking about you throughout the season. And I would love it to see them in the upper echelons of Conference USA and challenge for the NIT, or I forgot what that other bowl is. The alphabet tournament. The CAAAB XYZ tournament. I mean, it's got like 9,000 letters, but it's the third tier college basketball tournament. So,
yeah, I mean, how great would it be if they could find a way to have a nice sweep, right? To sweep the Conference USA titles in both basketball and football in their final year. Hey,
nice.
It could happen. Yeah. You never know, right? Let us know in the comments below your thoughts of UTSA basketball thus far. We're going to get to the women too. So if I have some thoughts about them, leave it in this comment description below. We'll be sure to add it to our next video. Be sure to like and subscribe while you're down there as well. And thank you as always for watching SlasherU.